He's one of the dopest engineers in the game. The head engineer exclusively for Prodigy of Mobb Deep. 10 Prodigy of Mobb Deep albums. The Hegelian Dialectic. The Book of Revelation.
It's a pleasure, man. That body of work is crazy. I mean,
Joe the engineer. Now we do this shit, nigga.
333. That's a sign from the heavens. Just look up in the heavens.
Fuck is up, y'all? What up? It is gray matter time. I need to roll a motherfucking blunt. It appears as if I might be talking to myself. Who knows if I'll even have any co-hosts this week. Who knows? I might be flying solo again. We shall find out, that's for fucking sure. Anyway, while I roll the fuck up, as is customary, play some 333 music.
I studied and learned for a purpose, my dear.
All right, Lamont, I realize all that. But now the entire underworld has but one objective: to erase the shadow.
Flea, what up, homie? Straight fire, what up? So, yeah, I'll probably just go play some beats until 9:33. Then I'm going to talk about football, whether I do it by myself or not. Buddha, you already know, man. Yeah, that's what I do. YouTube live streams, smoke blunts, and play music. Pretty much what I do. Same old Flea, same old, you already know, man.
All greatness, the majority of greatness in itself doesn't come with goodness. The two don't coexist with one another. And all great men are not good men.
Test your power. Test your power. Test your power.
Test your motherfucking power. Vegas, what up, homie? Man, I tell you what, we might as well jump into it. Fuck it. I feel like I'm flying solo anyway. So, big things happening in the sports world before we jump into football, I guess. Mainly in college football, even though I don't watch college football. Coaching movements. Lincoln Riley leaves Oklahoma. He says they reached their ceiling in Oklahoma, and Oklahoma's about to go into the SEC, so he doesn't want to have to compete against that. He's going to go to USC. He'll be there for a couple years, and then probably on to the NFL. All right. Brian Kelly says, yeah, fuck this shit at Notre Dame. I'm going to the SEC, and goes and gets $95 million guaranteed for 10 years at LSU. And says, peace to Notre Dame. So now Notre Dame has an open spot, which is fucking, traditionally would be unprecedented, but they haven't really been that good, but they're pretty good lately. Anyway, so now Notre Dame's job's open. Who the fuck is going to take Notre Dame's job? Probably Cincinnati's coach. Luke Fickell's probably going to go there because he's Catholic. And it just works. So, I mean, Buddha, that just depends on who's listening to it. Me personally, me and Billy Lons have been up to something. Other than that, fuck all other sports. We talk about football. Anyway, Flea, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? So, the biggest news in the NFL is Mike McCarthy has the Roni. Vegas, 2022, I'm going to get back into it. I took the year off. I'm getting back into it. I've already started making moves. I'll get back into it 2022. So, Cowboys coach Mike McCarthy caught the Roni. Also, 8 players tested positive. They had not listed which 8 players. But that doesn't look good for the Cowboys. Especially with Washington kind of making a little run right now. The Eagles really missed their opportunity this week. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. So stupid. So, the Roni is going to become a big deal. The Odell Beckham Jr. curse is real. It's real. He goes to LA and they have not won since he's been on their roster. So, I don't know what to tell you. He's supremely physically gifted, but you have to be, there's nearly 60, 70 players in the locker room. You got to be able to fit in. You can't, it doesn't matter how good you are if you're not part of the team. So, I continue to be in first place in our football pick'em league. 3 points ahead now. Danibus has pulled into a tie with Lump for second place. Kerry made a move this week. He did pick the Giants correctly, but I think that's because he's a Giants fan and he hates the Eagles. And he got the Cowboys game right because he hates the Cowboys. So his hatred of the teams that he is rivals with served him well this week. I, however, for some reason, and the only one who got the San Francisco game right out of our group, and I don't know why, when all we do is talk about Kirk Cousins can only be one game below 500. He wins games that he's not supposed to, and he loses games that he's supposed to win. That's just the way this guy operates. They beat Aaron Rodgers handily in Green Bay. Not supposed to win that game. Dominate them. That gets them to 5-5. Naturally, the laws of Kirk Cousins and Captain Kirkism says they're going to lose this next game. Especially they're traveling on the road to a Niners team that's pretty solid. So, of course they lost that fucking game. I don't know how. We talk about it. We've been talking about it for years. I don't know how I'm the only one who got that one right. But thanks, guys. That allowed me to keep my 3-point lead in the football pick'em. Now, Flea, something hilarious happened in fantasy football this week. My team absolutely shit the bed. Everybody put up like 3, 6, 8, 9 points. There was absolutely no way in the world that I was supposed to win this week. Going into Monday Night Football, I was up by I think 12.5 points. My opponent had their quarterback left, Taylor Heineke. I didn't even watch the game because there is no way in the world that he was going to score under 12 points. It just wasn't going to happen. I'm like, he's a fucking starting quarterback and they're going to win. There is no way. I didn't even watch it. I'd be damned if he only scored 11.6 points. Somehow eked that one out. So, still in the hunt for a playoff spot in fantasy, which is should not be happening. But I will take it. There was no way that my team should have pulled that one out. But that's why we play the game. All right, let's get to some football games. Thursday, Thanksgiving. I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving and all that good stuff. If you're not American and you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, then it was just a normal Thursday for you. Somehow the Bears beat the Lions. Like, somehow the Lions found a way to lose another football game. They're 0-10-1 right now. There's only 6 weeks left of them to win. They might not win this year. That doesn't mean anything that the Bears beat them. The Lions fucking suck. The Raiders over the Cowboys. Well, I mean, the Cowboys did have 28 penalties on them, I believe. Or there was 28 total in the game, 14 on each side. That's a lot of fucking penalties. Like, that's a lot. The referees were highly involved in the outcome of this game. Somehow the Raiders pulled it out. The Cowboys have now lost 3 in a row on Thanksgiving, which is hilarious. Shout out to America's team, continually losing on America's most American holiday outside of July 4th. And the Bills destroyed the Saints, but who didn't see that one coming? The Saints are terrible. And the Bills are good. Whatever. All right, Sunday's action. Let's get it in. So, apparently, Mac Jones is for real. 1,000,000% is the real deal. The Patriots are firing on all cylinders, and it is hilarious to watch all of the Patriot hatred start to bubble up again because everybody who is not a Pats fan is saying, how is this even possible? They weren't supposed to be good again. But this is what $163 million on the first day of free agency does for you, and what absolutely hitting home runs on your recent draft will do for you, because they absolutely smashed it out the park with Mac Jones. Christian Barmore, the defensive tackle, is a stud. And Ramondo Stevenson, the running back, is an absolute monster. So, out of nowhere, the Patriots now have the number 1 defense in football. And over the past 7 weeks, have the number 1 offense in football. So, all of the worry and negativity that might have been directed at them after starting out 2-4, I think was misplaced and has now been put to bed. Traditionally, if you're a Patriots fan, you would understand they always start out slow. 2-2, 2-3, 2-4, always happens. Rarely did the Patriots ever start out quick. Only the year they went undefeated in the regular season did they run through quick. So traditionally, they have always started out slow because Bill Belichick has stated for the last 20 plus years that NFL football does not start until after Halloween. And if you really want to go deep, he'll say after Thanksgiving. You gotta say after Halloween now, Bill, because you're not guaranteed like number 1 seeds perpetually, even though they might end up with the number 1 fucking seed. It's not only that they beat the Titans, they absolutely dominated them across the field. The Titans have nobody. It was to be expected. But the Patriots are firing on all cylinders. They do play the Bucks this week. The Bills this week, so it's Monday Night Football. Dope fucking game on Monday night, so that's going to make Monday Mobb Deep Monday. I might just put music on and then just sit here and smoke weed and watch the game and not say a word because I am a Pats fan. It's going to be hard for me not to watch that one. That will be for first place in the AFC East. Boy, I am fucking high. Jesus. Bengals absolutely destroyed the Steelers. If you watch any of this game, then it's over for Big Ben. He needs to stop playing football and go do something else with himself. You're going to end up in the Hall of Fame, dude. You got you have 2 Super Bowls. Like, you don't need to do this anymore. You look terrible. It's like a boxer who can't stop fighting, and it's just in there getting his face beat in. Like, there's a time to hang it up, and it's time to hang it up, Big Ben. It's time for the Steelers to rebuild roster-wise and offensive philosophy and team-wise and whatnot, because the Big Ben era is officially over. They're not going to get rid of Mike Tomlin, though. Though this might be the first time they've had a losing season ever. But they're only 5-5-1, so technically they don't have a losing record yet. They got to win 3 out of the last 6 to secure the non-losing record thing. Bucks and Colts. I don't know if you guys watched this game. This shit was fucking awesome. These two teams went at it. And, you know, Tom Brady does what Tom Brady does. It was very precision and surgical, though, because precise and surgical. 3 minutes and 31 seconds left when they get the ball tied up in the fourth quarter. They used all but 26 seconds or something like that. And Leonard Fournette probably shouldn't have scored, but there's also a chance you get the field goal blocked or you miss it and you end up in overtime. So, you know, just fucking score. And then don't give up a long kick return. The Colts almost had a miracle long kick return, and then a Carson Wentz Hail Mary that was actually short. But good game. Good road win for the Bucks, and they did show and prove that they are indeed the hardest team to run on in football, because even Jonathan Taylor was getting absolutely nothing. Nothing. That Bucks defensive front is for real. You are not running on them. You're going to have to throw it. But their pass defense is absolutely atrocious, so just fucking throw it on them. The Colts tried it. It just didn't work. You're not going to out Tom Brady. It's getting cold out. It's December now, tomorrow. So you're talking about, like, it's Tom Brady time, dude. Dolphins blew out the Panthers quietly. This is 4 wins in a row for the Dolphins. Tua is playing excellently over this 4-win stretch. And it's also looking like the whole bringing Cam Newton back to Carolina thing might not be like a thing. It is still Cam Newton physically. Like, spiritually, you might be like, Cam is back, but it's still physically the same Cam who left. And he left for a reason. Christian McCaffrey gets hurt again. So, thinking that he's ever going to have, and now the season's 17 games, thinking he's ever going to have a full season of contribution is hilarious, because it's never going to happen. As much as he wants to be able to run physically and whatnot, he's not big enough to be able to punish people. So he absorbs a lot of hits. It's like Bob Sanders used to go out there and throw his body around, but again, he was only 5'8", like 200. And eventually his body just couldn't take it anymore. Christian McCaffrey is incredible when he's healthy, but he is never healthy. I would look for the Panthers to possibly move on from him and his contract next year because of his injury history, and try to go for a rebuild with whoever they bring in, and then keep Matt Rule the coach, because he's probably pretty much doing a pretty solid job. Yeah, he's too old, especially to be dressing the way he does. It was cool when you were in your 20s, Cam. You can't do that anymore. You're not even playing good football. You can't justify how you dress anymore. Somehow, some way, the Eagles inexplicably lost to these fucking Giants. Now, the Giants get rid of the Clapper and then all of a sudden get a win. Even though the Clapper was their offensive coordinator, and they still only put up 13 points. Somehow, the Eagles, who had won 2 straight and had some momentum, found a way to remind you that they are still a terrible football team, because they just lost to a really terrible football team. So are all really bad. The Eagles had a shot. Like, Cowboys lost. They could have been 6-6, not 5-7. That was a huge blow for them in division. Falcons over the Jaguars. Matt Ryan beats quarterbacks that he's better than. There are certain rules. Kirk Cousins will be below 1 game below 500 like clockwork. Matt Ryan beats quarterbacks that he's better than. Right now, he's still better as an NFL quarterback with that Falcons roster than Trevor Lawrence is with the Jags and that roster. So, of course he was going to win that game. Cordero Patterson comes in and dominates. Is he a wide receiver? Is he a running back? Who cares? Just give him the ball. You got nobody else. Kyle Pitts, everybody's just going to put 3 to 4 people covering him at a time. So just give this guy the ball. I mean, what's funny though is when they say that they're rigged, then it would have to be holograms. There's no way in the physics of competitiveness and the physics of motion that you can accurately say that these are the exact things that are going to happen. Julian Edelman catching that football off of a foot this high off the ground and re-gripping in a pile of Falcons bodies on 3rd and long. That's impossible to say. It's impossible to say, yeah, this is going to happen and that's going to happen. Like, they might be able to try to guide things, but I've played football, dude, even up through college, and it's impossible. It's too hard. You can't have the players in on it. You can't have the players in on it. It's impossible. Anyway, somehow the Giants won. Whatever. Falcons, they were going to beat the Jags. The Jets beat the Texans, so what the fuck? Because Zach Wilson came in and did not play well. But somehow they were able to beat the Texans. So shout out to the Jets defense. I mean, CTE's a real thing, though. Shout out to the Jets defense because the Texans, when Tyrod Taylor plays, are pretty solid. But they did absolutely nothing in the second half and found a way to lose that game. That's why you guys suck. That organization sucks. So the Broncos over the Chargers. So apparently, with this new coaching regime, the Chargers and Justin Herbert have the least amount of throws 10 yards or farther downfield of any team in the NFL. Now, that's absolutely fucking retarded. You have Mike Williams and Keenan Allen and 2 big, tall tight ends. Why are you not going vertical with that quarterback? He's like 6'5" and has a cannon. Absolute howitzer for an arm. What are you doing? So apparently this new Brandon Staley and this new offensive coordinator, whoever's in there, are stifling Herbert right now by not allowing him to go downfield, and it's showing on the field. They sucked the last couple of weeks. They are not able to score. They've just been trying to feed the ball to Eckler the entire time instead of letting this kid do what he does. They constantly go for it on 4th and down. It might be 4th and 7 on their own 37 in the second quarter, and they'll fucking go for it. And then all of a sudden they're down 21-14 instead of 14-0. Just, I don't know. They can't ruin that kid because he is absolutely special and gifted. And it looks like they're going to ruin him. For some reason, I picked the Rams. It was Aaron Rodgers in the cold in Green Bay. Of course they're going to win that game. And the Odell Beckham thing is a real thing. That was stupid of me. Aaron Rodgers did what Aaron Rodgers does in the cold. He made throws that nobody else can make. He made throws that nobody else would even attempt because they can't throw the football the way that he does. Patrick Mahomes can absolutely sling it and throw it from any angle, yes, and any platform. Aaron Rodgers is still the only quarterback who can make the nose of the ball go in any direction that he wants to, kind of when he wants it to. It's something completely special and unique. I don't think we're never going to see what he does again. People will try it, but like you're just not. He doesn't even try. He just does. It's just he was built to do that. It's absolutely ridiculous. There were a couple throws that literally just. You know when he throws it that it's going to get there because it's him. But any other quarterback, the majority of them aren't even going to attempt it because they don't think they have the arm to do that. And they know they can't. They know that they can't throw a ball and then have it dive once it goes over somebody instead of just continuing on a natural physics flight path. He's the only one who can do it. I've never seen anybody else play football who can do it. It is retarded. Defenses play well. They do have a good running game. Offensive line's pretty solid. And they have Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. So, looking like the Packers are going to make another deep playoff run. No big surprise there. They are first in the NFC right now. The Bucs are one game behind them, so we have 6 weeks left. We shall see what happens. 49ers over the Vikings. Fleet, nobody believes in your boys. I believed in your guys. Actually, I didn't believe in the 49ers. I believed in Captain Kirk's ability to not win this football game more than I believed in your team. It's just the way it is. It was easy. It's like clockwork. I'm actually disappointed that nobody believes me when I say that and everyone else picked Minnesota. What are we doing here? Cleveland and Baltimore. This game was so ugly that I'm glad I didn't watch it. I didn't even watch it. It was terrible. So, Flea, we'll talk about the playoffs in a minute. So, Cleveland, Baker is like 1/8 of a quarterback at this point. Baltimore didn't play well. But Cleveland just... Baker this hurt can't be a better option than Case Keenum right now. It's not possible. Baker literally has a heel, a toe, labrum, shoulder, a neck thing, a hip issue. His knee's fucked up. He's not healthy at all. I get the warrior mentality, but you're actually hurting your football team right now. And we're getting into divisional play. So, I don't know, man. I think they have 12 games in. Their bye has to be coming up soon. That's still not going to help. He's going to have multiple surgeries in the offseason. Washington beats up the Seahawks. And I win on both fronts because I picked Washington. And then somehow, by them only putting up 17 points, and Heineke throwing a couple picks, he was held to under. It's making me laugh because I should not have won. I was actually upset because I was like, I cannot believe that my team shit the bed like this and nobody did anything this week. And then somehow we won. And now we're still in the hunt to get into the playoffs. Fucking hilarious. All right, so let's look ahead to Week 13 in the NFL. Dallas at New Orleans. Mike McCarthy and 8 unnamed players have tested positive for the Roni. Could possibly be more because of contact tracing and whatnot. Dallas will not forfeit this game. Jerry Jones isn't giving up $75 million. It's not happening. It's a Thursday night game. It's the only game. It might be $100 million. It's not going to do that. I still don't know who I'm going to take on this. I need to see which Dallas players aren't in there because Mike McCarthy not being there, not really a big deal. There's other coaches on the staff that'll step in for one game. Dan Quinn's had head coaching experience experience before he can hold it down. But I just need to see who's healthy and who is, well, not who's healthy, but who's tested positive or is a Roni scratch. Can't pick that one yet. Tampa at Atlanta. Do we even have to ask? Matt Ryan will never beat a Tom Brady-led team the rest of his career. It will never happen. That 28-3 loss that he suffered in the Super Bowl that loss after being up 28-3 in the Super Bowl, he will never, ever, ever be able to live that down or exercise those demons. It will never happen. Tampa all day. Whatever the spread is, take it. I don't care. Arizona at Chicago. Is Kyler Murray back? What about DeAndre Hopkins? Arizona is going through some injuries, and it will be cold in Chicago, so weather's going to start being a factor in games for away teams who are not used to this shit. So you might have to consider that, especially on the under. Depends on who's healthy for Arizona at Chicago. I know I've already picked Arizona, but I don't know if I will solidify that one or not. Chargers at Cincinnati. The Chargers are in trouble of falling apart at the wrong time. And Cincinnati is on a run, and I'm a huge Justin Herbert fan, but I have already picked Cincinnati. It's in Cincinnati. It's going to be cold. The Chargers are not going to be used to that weather. And they're just not playing well right now, and Cincinnati is. It's crazy that tickets are only $21 to that game, because if I lived in Cincinnati, I would definitely go to that one. $21, what the fuck? I spend that on blunts each day. What the hell? Minnesota at Detroit. This is where Captain Kirk, after going one game below 500, wins and get back to 500. It's like clockwork, people. Never fails. Easy game to pick. The Giants at Miami. Miami is playing really well right now. The Giants are not. And traveling to Miami from a cold weather city, if it's hot and humid, it is going to affect the Giants. Miami with the W. Philly at the Jets. Yo, Philly deserves to lose this game. They really do. They absolutely 100% deserve to lose this football game. I don't think they will, but they're going to, probably. I'm probably going to get that one wrong. The Colts at Houston. Tickets as low as $8. So if you are in Houston and you find a $10 bill on the ground, you can go get a ticket to an NFL football game and then have $2 for something else. That is incredible. Washington Red Wolves at Vegas. This is an interesting crossroads game for both of these teams. Washington can continue on a run and possibly squeak into the playoffs somehow. Vegas is trying to just stay up with the rest of the AFC West, which are all winning. So, pivotal game for both of those teams, because the loser is going to put themselves the back against the wall in regards to getting into the playoffs. That is for sure. Jacksonville at the Rams. Really? Baltimore at Pittsburgh. Years and years and years ago, this game would have been must-see TV because they would have literally beaten each other to a bloody pulp. But that was years and years and years ago. They don't play like that no more, especially these two teams. They don't really hate each other like they used to, but they don't like each other. Baltimore is first place in the AFC overall. Pittsburgh, this is the part of the season where Big Ben starts to take a nosedive. It happened in week 11 last year. It was week 12 this year. So you're going to see them playing terrible football the rest of the year, and they will not win a game the rest of the year probably. And then Big Ben needs to just stop. It's a 17-game season, not a 10-game season, including 4 of the playoffs that you would have to play. You've only got 10 games, and it's not a 6-game season. So if Big Ben wants to come back next season, he's going to have to sit out until week 12 play weeks 12 through 17, and then the playoffs, if they make the playoffs. So, Pittsburgh, enjoy your rebuild. It's been great. Big Ben, shout out to you. Hall of Fame career, awesome and whatnot. Now you have more time for Brazzers. San Francisco at Seattle. Seattle is done. Done. Pete Carroll's going to leave. Russell Wilson's going to end up at the Giants. Seattle's over. Denver at Kansas City. Interesting football game because Denver somehow just keeps finding ways to win and keep themselves in the discussion. Interesting game for Kansas City because they've won a couple in a row. It looked like they found their offensive groove possibly again. Good test, though, because Denver does have a good defense, but it is in Kansas City. And then Monday Night Football. Pats at Bills. Let's go, Pats. I don't have to say anything else. Literally don't have to. They're playing better than anybody in football right now in all phases of the game. Offense, defense, special teams. They are coached better than anybody. It is time to make a playoff run in New England. So, as of right now, New England is in first place in the AFC East. Half a game up on Buffalo because New England has not had their bye yet and Buffalo has. So, but technically they are in first place. So, shout out to New England because even I didn't expect to see this one. I said playoff. A wild card berth and a playoff appearance will happen. But I did not see this happening, and I don't think anybody saw Mac Jones playing as well as he actually is. I don't think anybody saw this coming. No one saw. We all saw the eventuality of it. Like, this is a perfect fit. He could grow into be exactly what this program needs. Nobody saw him coming in on, drive one of the preseason and just being the guy. And it was just like, uh-oh. The evil empire strikes back. I think it's hilarious. I'm here for it all day. Dolphins trying to make a late season push for a possible wild card berth. I don't see it happening. So, AFC North, Pittsburgh is going to fall off. We don't have to worry about them. Cleveland can't stay healthy enough. So, Cincinnati and Baltimore are going to battle out for the division title, but the other one will make the play, a wild card spot. You can bet on that one. Tennessee, it's going to be tough for them to continue to win football games. The best thing they got going for them right now is they are already 2 games up on Indianapolis in the division, and Indianapolis will find ways to lose football games. It keeps happening. Kansas City, Chargers, Broncos, Raiders all have at least 6 wins. That one's going to go down to the wire. 3 teams from that division might make the playoffs, to be honest with you. I don't see any. I thought Denver might fall off, but they somehow keep finding ways to win. The Chargers look like they might fall off, which is terrible because they have Justin Herbert, and that should never happen. NFC East, the Cowboys. Boy, did the Eagles miss a chance right there. What a bunch of idiots. The Cowboys could lose this game and end up 7-5. And you could watch Washington end up 7-6 next week. And then, as everyone predicted that the Washington Red Wolves would win that division, except Carey, I think we might all end up being correct because it might end up happening. Dallas might find a way to Dallas this season away, which would be hilarious because we all hate Dallas anyway. Green Bay is going to run away with the NFC North. Minnesota can only be 1 game below 500. It's just the way it works with Captain Kirk as your quarterback. So, congratulations to the Pack. Just stay healthy and get ready for a playoff run. It looks like they might be able to possibly make a run for the number 1 seed and a first-round bye, which would help. But what it also does is make everybody have to come through Green Bay to win a playoff game, and that is not very easy. It's only been done a handful of times. Nobody wants to go up there and play in the winter, especially Aaron Rodgers puts on the long sleeve with the hood thing. You're about to lose a football game if he does that. Tampa Bay is going to run away with the NFC South. Those other teams suck. Fuck them. And the NFC West, San Francisco is going to remain relevant, it looks like. It also depends on what happens with the Cardinals, because somehow, as they went through their injury problems, they only lost one football game. It's a sign of a quality football team, or they've been playing a bunch of bad teams. I don't know which one it actually is. We will find out, because once you make the playoffs, there is nowhere to hide. Everybody's good. I don't think there's anything else to talk about, because none of my co-hosts are co-hosts anymore. I'm pretty much doing this shit solo the rest of this year, it looks like. Carrie will not be around until next year, like calendar year. And then Roger Harper is going to be busy all the way through the Super Bowl. Shout out to my homie. And Nice is busy doing whatever it is Nice does. So, I will continue to hold it down because I am committed. Other than that, I'm almost made it to 10 o'clock. I'm going to smoke the rest of this blunt. And, Buddha, I'll play another beat because I don't have anything else to talk about, because I'm pretty much able to burn through a week of NFL action in an hour if I'm just sitting here talking by myself. So anyway, who cares? Nobody cares. I'm going to finish this blunt. I'm going to play a beat, and then I've got things to do because I'm up to something. Alright, I got things to do because I'm up to something. And I had no co-host pop in tonight, so I'm going to go do some other things because priorities. Don't worry. If I'm up to something, it's a good thing.